Hi, Chris Mc Loone here with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. Welcome to this episode of our podcast. As you can see, got the Eagles shirt on today. It is Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be crazy around here in southeastern Pennsylvania if the Eagles do win the Super Bowl tonight. I'm brought back to a few years ago when the Phillies, I believe it was when they got into the World Series, and it was crazy in our little Glenside center of town here. It's called the Keswick Village, and there were a lot of people celebrating in the street. And I remember we had a fire call in the Keswick Village, and I remember trying to get through all the people and the police kind of parting the Red Sea for us to get through there. And there was actually a video of us driving away after I backed out of the alley of people chasing the truck down the street. It's the first time I've ever been in that kind of situation before. So it will be interesting. Hopefully everything is quiet fire wise if the Eagles do win, because there will be a lot of celebration here. But hey, go Birds, right? Go Birds. But I didn't just come on today to talk about the Super Bowl, although I'd love to talk about the Eagles all the time if possible. But I did have something. It's been on my mind. There has been an article circulating for the past probably 2, maybe 3 weeks about the fire apparatus market, about the LA fires. And about some of the impacts that certain business moves within the fire apparatus market have had on the market, and in particular, one indicated that these business moves in the fire market may have worsened the LA County fires. I have trouble connecting those dots. And I would really caution anyone to really to really buy into that article. I'm sure there may be a point or two in there where we might sit back and kind of think about some things, but it's really hard for me to connect the dots to say that business moves within the fire apparatus market made or worsened the situation in LA. Apparently, if it's true from this article, there are a number of rigs out of service. I have to think that LA and the municipalities around it have a pretty sophisticated mutual aid system to help with a situation like this, given the situation, given the current status of the fleet, assuming that what this fellow said was true. I question I question what this author was trying to achieve with this article. Like, what is the end game here? Maybe I just come at it from a different perspective. I was in the fire service before some of these business moves. I've been in the fire service after some of these business moves. I'm driving around in a rescue truck that was delivered in 2016. It's got a Spartan cabin chassis, but Spartan ER is not who built the rig. So I mean, that when we talk about some of the business things that are out there, I mean, think about that. Think about how many of these chassis exist with companies that with fire departments who didn't ask the manufacturer of the chassis to also build the truck. But along these lines, I cannot connect the dots to say that because of these business moves, that fire was worse. And I just look back. I look back after 9/11. We had a rescue truck on the line at Salisbury Fire Apparatus, and Salisbury got in touch with us and asked if they could take us off the line so that they could rapidly produce some rescues. They were the manufacturer at that time for New York's Fire Department of New York's rescue trucks. And of course we were like, yes, absolutely. No, not a problem at all. The present and so, like, I mean, there isn't a manufacturer around that's going to try to make life difficult, for the fire departments buying these rigs. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So it's made the rounds. I'm sure there's a lot. I've sort of glanced at some of the comments. The comments are for or against. I mean, as you would expect. But everyone I have spoken with during the I don't know how you describe it, during this purchasing season, during this purchasing environment, um, uh, that there was a lot of pent up demand coming out of the pandemic. That pent up demand combined with some supply chain issues really contributed to create a backlog for a lot of companies. These backlogs are across the board. Big or small, there have been backlogs. I am unwilling to attribute the delay in my fire company receiving two pumpers back in 2021 to what this person was talking about in the article. I just can't do it. There were no axles, so we had to wait a little longer. It didn't delay it that much. I think we were expecting delivery in August or September, and it ended up we had to wait until November, maybe it was December, before they came in. That it happened, but I'm unwilling to say that that because of that one manufacturer caused all this. It's really, if you happen to see it, just I would recommend reading it. It's certainly a perspective, but I would really take it with a grain of salt, because I'm really having a hard time connecting the dots. Maybe I'm naive. I don't consider myself to be like a super businessman or anything. But I'm just having a hard time connecting the dots. And I think it's slightly irresponsible to try to connect those dots, given what the folks in California are going through at the current time. So, again, that's just something I wanted to bring up. Just a real quick few remarks on that. It's something that, as I said, it's been making the rounds. I figured, it's time for somebody to say something. Man, I mean, I certainly hope that I'm on point with this, but I just these dots are hard for me to connect. As we know, the current atmosphere, the manufacturers, as I've said many times, they are digging into these backlogs. There are alternatives out there that we are going to see more. I think we're going to see more stock rigs being offered in order to allow fire departments that are in more dire need of a rig to get that rig quicker and for a little less money. As I understand it, there are stages along the way where if that stock truck is on the line, you might be able to tweak something here or there. So pay attention to those things. I'm by no stretch of the imagination saying abandon your custom rigs. I'm just saying that, there is an awareness, certainly that times are tough. The wait times are tough. And so, should you need something sooner, there are some alternatives. So, again, from the office here on Super Bowl Sunday, really, honestly, go Birds. Really looking forward to seeing the game later today. Hopefully, whoever wins, hopefully those municipalities are in good shape and it doesn't get too busy. You combine fire calls with large calls and the trucks trying to get through. It's nerve wracking for the driver operator, and I'm sure for the officer on the rig too. So again, this has been Chris Mc Loone with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment, with a few thoughts about that article that many of us have seen floating around. Have a good one and stay safe.